So hello then guys, welcome back to another video. We are working on the V12 BMW 760 Ally today, and we're hopefully going to get this thing fixed once and for all. So I did mention previously we had an issue with the suspension. It was sitting way too low on this side. I'm happy to report that issue is now fixed. I'll show you exactly what the issue was with that in just a moment. But today we are hopefully going to get this boot lid fixed. When I say the boot lid fixed, I mean hopefully we are going to get this thing functioning as it should be. So let me just press the boot lid release button. And as we can see, it's not raising up. You have to physically lift it up into position. It goes down absolutely fine, and it holds in position absolutely fine. Now I know what some of you are probably screaming at the screen right now. It's the struts. It's not the struts. I've replaced both of the boot struts for genuine BMW a year ago now. They are absolutely fine, no issues with that. You may be thinking, oh, it's probably just low hydraulic fluid. If you know these systems, basically they run off this pump. There's a small reservoir there, and it pumps hydraulic fluid through these lines, and it goes around here to this piston, which is then connected on to that boot strut. And it is a common problem for these to leak. They tend to leak around here. Mine is not leaking though. It's not leaking any fluid whatsoever. The fluid is at the absolute max. I've tried to bleed the air out of this system numerous times. Doesn't seem to make one bit of difference. Now what I will say is this car is a pre-LCI, it's a 2003 model. This boot lid is an LCI, so it's from a 2008. This pump is the original, it's from the 2003 car. And there's so many people, you wouldn't believe how many people have tried to tell me that this pump is upside down. The reservoir should be on top. No. If you have a look in the early cars, this is exactly how it sits. For this pump design, you physically can't put it round the other way. The brackets and everything don't line up. However though, I do think the pump more than likely is our issue. And so today we are going to be swapping it out for a refurbished one. So in this box we have here, courtesy of the Part Geek, who specialises in convertible roof mechanisms. There's all his details just there. I'll also leave them in the description box below as well. But in here we have a refurbished, and this I believe is the style where the reservoir goes on top. It's a slightly different design to the one I have. So the one I have, this solenoid actuator that sits on top, whereas it sits at the back of the pump just there. Now along with the pump we also have some hydraulic fluid as well, so we'll be able to get the reservoir filled up and bleed the system out, and hopefully this new pump fixes our issue. Now while we are in here, I'll explain the issue that I had with the suspension. Why was it sitting way too low on this side? It's actually a very kind of silly thing that you wouldn't expect, but it was actually these compressed air lines. One of them was pinched because I had this spare wheel in here, and yeah, the wheel was literally sat on one of these air lines here. It was crushing it, and obviously it couldn't get enough pressure to that side. So yeah, I've lifted the spare wheel up, uncrushed the line, and yeah, no issues now. But let's move on and get this original pump removed. Right, so I'm going to start off by getting the pump itself disconnected electronically, and then there's this connector on top as well, which I don't think I'm going to be able to get to at the moment. I'm going to remove these, oh they're loose already, these two 10mm nuts, and this should all come off. Just disconnected that solenoid as well, and now it's just the fluid lines to disconnect. So I need to get something to capture the fluid because it's going to want to go everywhere. Just those two bolts to remove, both take a 12mm socket. Oh, and it's already running out. I think if I just remove both of these completely. I'll drop the line into this container and tip this upside down before removing it fully. Now, if I lower the boot down, yeah, should be able to get most of the old fluid out of here. Right, so that should be the majority of the old fluid out of the system now. Like I said, most of it sits in the reservoir on the pump. I'm just going to connect up the lines onto the new pump now. It's very handy how it does say blue and red on the pump, so you can't get these lines mixed up because there is a sticker on each line. So obviously the banjo bolts have two washers on. You need to make sure one goes against the pump block. The line then goes on top, and then the banjo bolt with one of the washers then goes into the block. So they're going to go up there like that, and that's the other pipe reinstalled as well, and this is how they should both look, something like that. So I'm just going to tighten them both down now, just hand tight, don't need to go crazy on them. And then I will get this reservoir filled up with fresh fluid, and then I'll do the same. I'll put the boot lid up and down, up and down, up and down, just to bleed any air out, and I'll put as much fluid as I can into there until it gets to that maximum mark. Right, so I got the reservoir removed. I'm just going to top it up with fresh fluid. I need to try and get this mounted back onto the pump without spilling it everywhere. That wasn't too painful. And get this clamp tightened down now. And like I said, I'm just going to raise and lower the boot lid just to draw this fluid back through the hydraulic lines. Yeah, I can see the level is dropping a bit. As you can see, the level has dropped quite a bit, so I'm just going to do the same again. Remove that, top it up as much as I can, reinstall it and bleed the air once more. And if it does sit above that max mark, which I think is on the other side, then I will just get it all plugged in and test it. Now, as you can see, I physically can't get any more fluid in there now. I filled the reservoir to the max and then put it back on, and it was literally pushing fluid out. So yeah, physically can't get any more out now. I've already bled the air out. You can see all the air going to the top of the reservoir. Oh, there's basically no air left in there now. So I'm just going to mount this back up, get it all plugged in, and yeah, I guess fire away and see if it works. There we go then, new pump all mounted, plugged in, and now let's first test that it closes. Still sounds like there's some air in the system, which should bleed itself out, but it is closing. Now, for the moment of truth, let's see if it wants to open. Yes! It's actually working! Yes! Get in there! Oh, you don't realise how happy this makes me. I've been trying to fix this issue now for the past 3 years. Pretty much, I guess, ever since I'd done the LCI swap on this car. I can't remember if it worked before that, but I definitely know after I'd done it, it never worked. Yes, get in there. We've got two things that were potentially the issue then. The original pump was faulty. It wasn't supplying enough pressure, or you could not run a pre-LCI pump with an LCI tailgate for whatever reason. Pure bliss. Next thing I need to do is sort out this micro switch. That's not working for the boot release. I need to look into that. Right, so I believe I've gotten to the bottom of why this micro switch isn't working. I think it's just a bad connection. There's basically two small switches inside of here. The one on the left side, that wasn't clicking, and so I guess it was kind of stuck and really wasn't doing much. And then this one is really temperamental. It's like a loose connection, so you can hear it now. It's closing, but it's like a really loose connection. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And so I've concluded I'm just going to get a whole new rear section. It's a really strange design, but this in effect is the rear micro switch. It basically plugs in here and then it powers the two number plate lights and the boot release switch as well. Very frustrating how you can't just replace this switch itself, but yeah, you have to buy the whole piece. It's all like a sealed unit, but yeah, we'll get one of these ordered and that should for sure fix our issue. For the time being though, I am absolutely over the moon that we've fixed our issue. The boot now opens like it should. So I'm going to call this video a great success. But yes, absolutely over the moon that we've managed to sort that issue, because yeah, it's pretty much the reason why this car has been off the road for the past 3 years or so. I just really haven't felt like working on it, but I'm definitely motivated to get this car finished off once again, and it will be up for sale this year. There's just a lot of very, very small minor jobs that need doing. Once they've all been done, then it just needs a good deep clean, a good service, and it'll be ready for sale. As always then, hopefully you all have enjoyed this video. I want to thank you all for watching. Remember to give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all very, very soon in that next one.